It was a Friday night, and the air was thick, smelling of impending rain, when Camila accepted the invitation. It wasn't her style, saying yes to strangers online. But there was something about the way he wrote so thoughtful, so precise, that made her feel it was a risk worth taking. His name was Daniel. His profile picture was blurry, but his bio was pure elegance. Good books, classical music, quotes from French philosophers. He promised her an unforgettable evening. She dressed with unusual care, choosing a red dress she rarely wore. She applied her eye makeup as if she were heading to a gala, a mix of excitement and nerves bubbling inside her. A feeling she hadn't experienced since college. The rendezvous point was an old restaurant in the historic district, the kind of place you won't find on Google Maps. You only hear about it through whispers. There was no sign, just a dark wooden door with a snake-shaped knocker. Camila knocked 3 times. Silence, just as she was about to turn back. Ready to call it a night, the door creaked open on its own. The inside was almost completely dark, except for a single candlelit table in the center of an otherwise empty room. On the table, a glass of red wine shimmered next to a plate covered by a silver cloche. A soft, deep voice called to her from the shadows. "Camila, please sit." It was Daniel. He emerged from the darkness, dressed in an impeccable black suit, a dark silk tie, and a pocket watch that chimed softly with his movements. He was handsome, undeniably, but his eyes, they were unsettling. They were dark voids that didn't seem to reflect any light. He moved with an eerie grace, almost floating as he sat opposite her. He poured her a glass of wine without a word. She took a hesitant sip. It had a strange, metallic taste, like old blood. But she didn't want to be rude or make a scene. He began to speak, his voice hypnotic, weaving tales of impossible journeys, of cities lost to time, of loves that spanned centuries. As he spoke, Camila felt a profound drowsiness wash over her, as if time itself was slowing down, stretching like taffy around his words. Then, with a slow, deliberate movement, Daniel lifted the silver cover from the plate. Beneath it lay a human heart, still faintly beating, nestled on a bed of bay leaves. Camila's mouth opened to scream, but no sound escaped. A silent, primal terror gripped her. He just smiled sweetly. "It's the perfect date, isn't it? Everything I do for you. Ever since I saw that photo of you on Instagram, I knew you were the one. Your beauty, it deserves to be preserved forever." Camila tried to push her chair back, to stand up, to run, but her legs refused to obey. Her body felt like it was encased in lead. Daniel leaned across the table, his fingers cold as ice, caressing her cheek. "Don't be afraid," he whispered, his voice a soothing venom. "The pain is brief, and then you will be immortal." From the inside of his jacket, he produced a syringe filled with a black, glistening liquid. Camila struggled in a silent, desperate panic, her eyes wide with terror as he moved toward her. He injected the dark fluid into her neck. Instantly, the world began to blur and distort. The walls of the restaurant seemed to melt like wax, and the shadows in the corners began to coalesce, taking on human forms. Figures with blurred faces, dressed in clothes from different eras, all turned their empty gazes toward her. Daniel took her hand, his grip firm but cold, and led her down a hallway she hadn't noticed before. The walls were lined with oil portraits, dozens of them. All were of beautiful women, wearing dresses from different decades, from the roaring 20s to the swinging 60s, and they all shared the same haunting expression. Empty eyes and a forced, painted-on smile. They had their perfect date, too, Daniel murmured, his voice echoing in the narrow hall. At the end of the corridor was a heavy Rothschild gate. He opened it, revealing a circular room, its walls covered entirely in mirrors. In the very center stood a throne, grotesquely fashioned from human bones. "Sit," he commanded. Powerless to resist, Camilla obeyed, her own will completely surrendered to his. Daniel knelt before her and placed a crown of thorns upon her head. "Now you are eternal," he declared. "Now you are mine." The mirrors came to life. They didn't just reflect her. They reflected twisted versions of her. One showed her as a withered old woman, her skin a roadmap of wrinkles. Another showed her with gouged out eyes. A third showed her covered in a swarm of black butterflies. Camilla finally screamed, a raw, desperate sound, but it was swallowed by the endless echoes of the mirrored room, a symphony of her own terror. Outside in the city, the rain finally began to fall, washing the streets clean. No one noticed she was gone. Her friends assumed she'd met someone special and was enjoying a new romance. Her mother stopped calling after the third week of unanswered messages. Back at the restaurant, table number 1 remained lit, a single candle burning, waiting for the next guest. Daniel sat in the shadows, scrolling through profiles on his phone. A smile crept across his lips as he found another perfect photo, another radiant face. The perfect date, he whispered to the emptiness as he began to type a new message. "Would you like to meet me?" The dark wooden door swung open again, though no one had knocked, and in the dimness, among the shifting shadows, a female figure in a red dress watched from afar, with eyes that no longer blinked, and a smile that was no longer her own. "Thank you for joining me on this dark journey. If you enjoy stories that explore the shadows, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tales from the edge of reality. Stay safe out there, and until next time, sleep well.